Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Headkrack After Hours. It's a super dope, talented young lady, man, representing the rugged streets of Flint, Michigan. Now by way of Los Angeles, California, where the weather's way much nicer and the water's a little easier to consume.
Right.
Make some noise one time for Lyric the Queen! What is up?
Yo, what it do, Headkrack?
It does a little bit of whatever it's paid to do sometimes,
Word,
but
word.
for this right now, this is for the culture, man.
Yes.
Like, I think I talked to you about it, man. Like, I heard you rhyme on Sway in the Morning.
Yeah, shout out to Sway.
The Friday Fire Cypher, and I'm
Right.
like, who is this person? And like, very seldomly do I whip out my phone and follow somebody while I'm driving.
Right.
But what I heard you kicking was so dope that I had to stop and not only like follow you, but also check out the songs that you played on the show, like the next one.
Word.
And I think there was another one you touched too, and I became an instant fan.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you for coming.
Appreciate you for having me, man. Thank you.
So let's go back to the genesis of it. Flint, Michigan.
Word.
A lot of dope people came out of Flint. Man.
Word.
You got Dayton Family.
Word.
Who's like, they're so underrated when you look at the overall scope
Crazy.
of hip hop.
Legends.
MC Breed.
Word. Legend.
Did you ever get a chance to meet any of these people?
Well, Dayton Family, that is my family. Shout out to Ira Dorsey and Mike and all of them, man. Dayton Family, I love them. They show me so much love. And I never got the pleasure of meeting MC Breed, but, they grew up with my mom and my peers and my family, so they family. Shout out to Natasha Breed. She always show me love. And, yeah, it's family. It's real.
So, were your family in music as well? Were they musicians?
Well, my grandfather's side of the family, all of them are musicians, play instruments. My grandfather was a musician, and so I'm heavily inclined with the music on my mother's dad's side of the family.
Got you. So when you decided that music was the career path you wanted to chase, right? Did you have to really fight for it with your folks, or did they kind of get it?
Nah, they got it immediately because I was so young. Elementary school, I was always in little talent shows and walking around the house rapping, singing, writing songs. So everybody kind of got it really early. They gassed me up. It's because of them. You know what I mean? They made me feel like, oh, maybe I'm good. Yeah.
Now, it's dope when the parents get the kids the battery in the back that they
Word.
need to
Word.
pursue their dreams.
Word.
Now, when you think about your origin story and like the different names that you went with, was it always Lyric the Queen, or was there a few other things? Because I've seen Lyric 145, I believe
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
What was it before all that?
It was always Lyric the Queen, and then when I got with Lyric 145, which is my group, we just combined our names. Their name was 145, I was Lyric the Queen, so we just put that together, and that's how that came about.
Got
Yeah.
you. Now, groups tend to, they form.
Yeah.
There's a person in the group typically that people will have a tendency to pay a little bit more attention to sometimes than others, and then that bird goes to fly solo in hopes of maybe looping back to the rest of the pack and doing
Word.
something.
Word.
Will Lyric 145 ever be a collective again, or y'all still cool?
Yeah, they're my brothers, man. I mean, I think we'll always be a collective in our mind and state because those are more like my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I think if ever they needed me, I'm there. If ever I needed them, they're there. And, we have our solo stuff going on. They have group stuff going on. And we'll always have Lyric 145, whenever we feel it, literally to my bros. So, yeah.
Got you. That's cool. Now, they're kind of scattered all over the country, right?
No, they're in New York.
Okay.
They're brothers. They're actual brothers. They're
I mean,
both
when I
from
say
here.
scattered, like you're in
Oh,
LA,
yeah. Yes.
they're in New York.
Yes.
Got you.
Yep.
Thank God for the internet, right?
Thank God for the internet.
So
Definitely.
the first time you took your skills out of the house, or maybe out of the high school cafeteria or middle school cafeteria, where were you? Where'd you rock, and how did it go?
Let's see. Like you said, high school, but even high school, I was rocking clubs and, too young to be in there, but I was battle rapping and rocking clubs and stuff like that. And then I went to Clark, Atlanta. I came down here and, I was on campus heavy performing and just performing around Atlanta. And then, after that, I did the X Factor, you know what I mean? That was pretty big. And I was shot in LA and Miami. And, I did a tour after that and just, it kind of went from there. Yeah. Different things.
Now, being a female battle rapper, a lot of times, anytime a female's in a battle, usually guys will sometimes let their guard down and maybe not
Word.
go as hard.
Super mistake.
I imagine you was just
Oh, my God.
Harukin and just
Oh, my God.
uppercutting dudes all across the battle
Yeah.
arena, right? Because they didn't know
Yeah.
the ferocity that was inside.
And I was young then. That is how the Queen got added to Lyric. It was just Lyric at first, but I never lost a battle. When I was younger, I mean, grown men, high school kids, the undefeated champ in school, murdered them all. So that's how everybody started calling me Queen. So that's how I actually added the Queen name. Yeah, it's very, don't put your guard down. Don't ever put your guard down. Like,
Now, what do you have to say about the state of Michigan as it relates to like music? Because for whatever reason, y'all just rap so repugnant with purpose. I mean,
Yeah.
God, you know, everything from John Connor to Elzai to Slum Village to, you know, Eminem, of course, Dirty Dozen. Even if you want to go back to Esham, you know, Awesome Dre, Hardcore Committee. I mean, Detroit has always pumped out well, not Detroit, but Michigan has always pumped out a high level amount of like lyricist and lyricism.
Yes.
What do you think attributes to that? Is it because the scene is so competitive? It's harder to get noticed?
I just think that it's just in our nature to take things to the next level. Like whatever we don't have the easy route in Michigan. Like majority of the people that I know, they don't have the easy route. It's more of a struggle. It's more of pain and passion. So I feel like when it comes to making music, it just reflects how we really feel and what we really go through on an everyday. It's not fun and good. It's like, nah, what's up? This is what we going through. You know what I mean? So I think it's just a reflection of who we really are and what we deal with on an everyday. You know, majority of people.
Now, it seems like you have had the opportunity to appear on every major platform that matters. You talked about the X Factor a little while ago. You know, cats can't pay for that type of exposure.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you know, like, so what's running through your mind the day you find out you get accepted to even go on X Factor?
Oh, well, that was crazy because, you know, when my initial audition before the one that was aired, because, you know, you do an audition and then you do your first audition on TV.
Right.
And my initial audition, I didn't have the patch on, nothing like that. So it was like literally the day before, I got accepted. They let me know that I was going to be on the show to audition for the first time in front of Simon and L.A. Reid and Britney Spears and Demi Lovato. And I had to go into emergency surgery. And I'm like, yo, how, you can't be serious right now. How am I going to perform in front of these people with a patch on my eye? You know, that was like a weird, not so settling thing for me. You know what I mean? So I had to really come up with something to make it my thing. And, you know, shout out to my mom for that, because she's like, you know, you better put some jewels on it and, you know, just make it stand out. So to be honest, when I first got the news, I was a little anxious, like, not in a good way, because I didn't know how they was going to take to me. But now it's like all of it just became my thing.
Yeah,
like,
badge of honor.
I know, absolutely.
Now,
That's exactly what I call
so
it.
your eyes were changing colors just just for no reason? Like
no reason. 2008, I fell under a condition called keratoconus. I went completely blind in both of my eyes. And since then, I've just been having surgeries, and it's just been going through transitions. So it's been a hell of a process, but it's still, to this day, it's no real reason for it. It's just what it is.
So the eye actually healed at one point. Then you dropped an iPad, and someone accidentally elbowed you in the eye again?
Yeah, no, well, it's not that it healed. What it is I had just had a corneal transplant. So, you know, had it been like a regular day, you know, that wouldn't happen, or my eyes was normal, that wouldn't happen. But I had just had corneal transplant, so any type of touch or any small thing, it would rupture the graft, you know, the stitches. So that's basically what happened. I was just fresh out of a surgery already, and you know.
But you you made it work for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of the things, you kind of got that rare seer thing going on, to where like if you actually took the eye patch on and like just did regular stuff, like no one would, you know, you can kind of blend in the crowd.
That's my favorite part about it, because like if I just feel like just take a patch off and you know what I mean, put two together. It's the patch that makes you like, ain't that, you know.
And you actually designed your patches too, right? Like,
actually, this patch in particular was from Don the Junkman. Shout out to my brother Don the Junkman. He's doing his thing right now. But he sent me this patch. He made me this patch custom. So yeah, shout out to him. You know, my mom makes my patches, or I'll make it, or you know, somebody might send me one. But now I have like a boatload. So
that's love right there.
Yeah,
you know, while other artists have regular merch, you got a whole different untapped market that you could really pump your product off to.
Yeah, and believe it or not, it's become something that I use for other things, like, children's hospitals. Like, I've sent patches out to kids, and I've gotten letters from parents like, my baby had surgery or this happened, and you make her feel like, so cool to wear an eye patch or whatever type of injury and stuff like that. So it has become like a badge of honor. I call it Patch the World or whatever, and I'll send them out, and not even just for a fashion statement, but for people who really need it and just want to feel like it's not so bad. You know what I mean?
Because like people put a lot of stock in investment into the way they look, and it's not all about the outward appearance, man. Like, there's the ways you could jazz things up. Like, I mean, Slick Rick, was one of the first people on the scene doing it. And,
absolutely.
And he actually made it cool.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted an eye patch too. Because Slick Rick just made it look so cool. So you definitely, like, rocking it for the females, man, and giving people hope. And I imagine, like, they say all the time, if you lose one sense, everything else kind of gets stronger.
That's very true.
So how does that apply to you and what you've been going through?
That's just really true. I mean, when I was going through the state where I didn't have vision in either one of my eyes, I was literally blind for like a few years before I got my surgery. And it enhanced everything. Like, my hearing was in HD, even like my taste, my nose, everything was so sensitive and expanded. Like, it was crazy. But I really relate to that. To this day, I feel like I can hear a lot better than before when I first lost my vision, and just my senses definitely went in HD when I lost my vision, like 100%. And around then too, it's like when I started adapting. Like, I don't do it all the time, but I did start adapting more of more freestyle recording and rap, and not writing because I couldn't see what I was writing. So I just started using other methods to create.
Yeah. No, people sleep so much on the internal power.
Yeah. Word. Oh my God.
I was listening to this doctor on the way in this morning. He was talking about ways to naturally produce your own internal DMT. Have you ever tried DMT before? Oh man, you should Google it. I haven't tried it yet, and I can't find anybody who'll sell me any. But
what is that exactly?
So DMT is like it's a hallucinogenic that, like, taps into your pineal gland and just allows you apparently to see the world in the way that it really is, per se. Because, we're seeing things through a lot of filters, a lot of, we're not really seeing everything 100%.
Right.
Like, there's things around us that we can't even see. Because we can only see in this, three-dimensional plane, but there's other planes that we can see in.
Has to be,
So DMT helps you tap into that, and, like, you only tap into it for, like, a few minutes. And everybody that you talk to about DMT will tell you a different experience. Like, no one's experiences are identical. Some people is like, yo, I saw the grid, we're really in a dome. Or I saw blah 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 blah. The skies are moving at all times. But like, I want to see that for myself, just to see what my experience would be. But anyway, this doctor was saying, if you sit in complete darkness for 7 days, your body will produce so much melatonin that it heightens everything, and your pineal gland will produce more internal DMT, and when you go back out into the world, everything will look completely different to you again. But you got to give your time, you got to give your eyes and everything, like, that 7 days of just complete darkness, just to kind of sit within itself to produce that much melatonin, because every time light hits it, your body produces serotonin.
Right.
Which takes away from the melatonin. So interesting. I wish I had 7 days.
That's actually really interesting, because I will tell you this, right? When I lost my vision, it was a few years. And when I finally got the opportunity to see again on some sort of vivid level, my perspective changed completely. Like, the way, detail, dots, it's dots in this, like these dots in this table. Started fascinating me differently because I wasn't able to see it before, like just small details. But when you said that, that resonated with me, because that is kind of like my experience. Like, literally, when I started seeing again, it changed the way I look at things. I feel like I already go into like heavy thoughts of why things are whatever. Like, even the phone, even the camera just fascinates me. Why can that capture a picture? That's weird to me. You know what I mean? Why can that freeze a moment? Why can your voice travel through a phone? Like, I just feel like we don't ask enough questions. Like, I know you can tell me why, but really, why?
It's insane when you sit
weird.
there and try to process it all. I used to have the hardest time. Like, when they used to drag me to church when I was little, and I would just zone off. Like, yo, we are here. We're here right now.
Right,
Like you're
we are
speaking, all this stuff is happening. Right. And it's
Absolutely.
just, it's crazy when you just process the little
Word.
things.
Oh my God, so many things.
So enough of that. Let's talk. Let's talk about your skills.
Word. Let's go.
You've been everywhere with it. One of the few people who was out there like legitimately freestyling, putting bars together.
Word.
Saw you on Hot 97 doing the freestyle thing. Smashed that.
Word.
What's the next plateau that you feel like you need to hit to make Lyric the Queen a household name?
I think it's really just about the reach. You know what I mean? The more people I can reach, I think that there's a mass amount of people yearning for this side. You know what I mean? Like yearning for the lyricism, yearning for somebody that's saying something that resonates with you differently. So for me, it's just the reach. Like wherever I can touch and get a hold to a mass amount of people, that's just my main goal. You know, it's just to get more people with Lyric the Queen on the wagon, on the train with me. Like, come over here, let me tell you something, and that can spread the message of what I'm saying, because what I have to say, I feel like will shift the mindset of our peers. That's my goal. Like, you know, I want to subconsciously change people. Like whatever you're getting up and doing every day. And that's why I talk about leveling up so much. To Lord, the level up is real because it's a commitment. It's a mantra for me. It's like, what are you going to do to level up every day? Like, how do you, like, as a person, as a friend, as a lover, as a cousin, you know, sibling, like, so I think the next thing for me is just to continue to level up and get more people aware. Get more people aware.
Nah, that's a dope answer, because a lot of times people get into music for the money, the fame, the prosperity, and it's such a limited reward. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You get the money, then there's a lot of headaches that come with that. But when you're trying to improve people's lives with the music that you make, maybe there's not a truck full of money at the end of the block waiting for you with that, but I feel like people that do that have longer careers because, you know, the cults and the people that your music touch, they follow you. Like, I think Kid Cudi's the best example of that. Like, he don't really make records to be #1 on Billboard, but like he literally has songs that has improved my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And when you make it for that purpose, for the people that feel like they're in the same space that you are, man, that's... You can't put a price tag on that.
That's absolutely true.
You can't sell that. So if people are just starting their Lyric the Queen journey with this interview, what songs should they pick up on to see where you started from or where you're going?
I think immediately just go to the next one. I mean, I'm shooting the video for that tomorrow, but that is a song that bar for bar, you could understand like who I am, what I can do, and what's to come. You know what I mean? I think that's my main message, is that I'm the next one. So I think immediately go to the next one. It's on all streaming platforms. And from there, I think you'll get it. Like, okay, let me see what she about to do. Yeah.
Word. I can't wait for people to take that ride with you.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited.
As you've been bouncing from place to place, I know it's hard out here for female artists because there's a lot of dirtbags in this business. Have you found yourself in any situations where, like, wow, I used to look up the blah, 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 but that dude's a real creep?
Yeah, actually. I won't say his name, but...
Let's let the people speculate, though. What city they in?
Probably Cali, probably in LA somewhere.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Yeah, probably in LA. But yeah, like I've definitely been in weird situations, and usually I think like my demeanor makes it less likely for me, which I've learned how to, you know, put on that demeanor to where it is strictly business, or you end up being a homie or whatever the case may be. So I can't really say I have a lot of experience with it, but there's been a time or two in particular where I'm like, you can't be serious right now. Not be fucking serious. But yeah, they try, you know, people gonna try it out and see what's up, and then that instantly just make it like, okay, I definitely can't work with you. You know? But yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it all.
Now, sometimes people say the worst thing that can ever happen is that you meet the people you idolize.
Yes.
Has there been people that you idolize that you had the opportunity to meet and it went well?
Yeah.
Like, who was like the biggest one?
Probably Dre. You know, Dr. Dre, being in the studio with him was a sight to see. and he was super cool and nice and embracive. And I heard some unreleased music. I felt honored about that. He was like, "Yo, I want you to hear this song," and I just thought that was super cool or whatever, and that was cool. But
Now, how does somebody end up in the studio with Dr. Dre?
John Connor, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, John
At
Connor.
Michigan Connect.
Yeah. Shout out to John Connor.
What's up with his project with Dr. Dre? Like, are they still working? Or is this like, like, I get excited when I see people working with Dre, but I also don't hold my breath because, the track record is a little spotty.
Yeah. Well, you would probably have to have him up here to go into detail about it, but I think that he's in a good position now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think he's in a good position now, and I think that he has some dope stuff to come. So I think that he's definitely somebody to just look on the lookout for. I think this is the year that he's gonna start putting stuff out and making things make sense. So sometimes you just gotta move things around and do it different. Like, I don't question timing. I don't think he questions timing or the process or the journey. It's just
when you speak on terms of Terminator, I don't want it to be like child John Connor is now adult John Connor by the time he finally get his Aftermath album out. Because like when I heard them first singles, I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah. He's a problem. So like I said, you can't question the journey though. Sometimes things happen for you to have something to talk about. And you get good material for your new music. So it just is what it is.
That's what's up. So it's 2019. We're operating under a new moon.
Yes.
Great things are manifesting.
Yes,
for people
it is.
all around the world who believe in that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
What do you want to see happen for you in 2019?
2019, I see a lot of deals. I want to just close deals. And when I say that, I don't necessarily mean like, record deals. I just mean deals. I want to be on the phone and say, this is happening. Cool, lock it in. Are we here? Cool, lock it in. Like, I want to put out a lot of new music. I want to put out a lot of new visuals. I want to, just get a lot more people aware, like I said, of the Lyric the Queen brand. I want to drop merchandise. I want to, continue to put awareness on Flint, Michigan, what's going on. By the way, it's still a very real thing. It's been about 1,700 days since Flint had clean water. You know what I mean? I think that's just something to say while I'm
now, how
there.
are people in the city coping with it? Is everybody just buying water? Or
I mean, we do a lot of water drives where you just pick up bottles of water and you use it for everything. For a while to stay at cut off the water supplies. At first, they was providing bottles of water for us, and right now it's just a wait game. Like, they're slowly but surely working on the pipes, but it's not fixed. It's not done. It's something that I feel like could be expedited, and it's just not. It's just kind of got put on the back burner, and now that it's not on the front of the headline news, then it's not really something that per se is important, I guess. But we just coping, and we just taking it for what it is. But it is a very real thing still happening right now. It's not done. It's not fixed. People are not good. Still rashes. Still water, lead contaminated. It's still a real thing. And then also, just why I have the platform, like, it's not even just about the clean water, and that's just what I try to stress to people. Is like, even when the water is 100% fixed, you have a generation of kids that have this permanent, irreversible damage now. Like,
you're not gonna see the results of this till like years down the line.
Right. And what happened to them and what happened to the people that consumed this water is now what are we going to do to the kids that are like just a little bit more incompetent or that's just, got affected permanently. I just think it's a big conversation even beyond the water once it's fixed. It's just a lot. It is.
Yeah. And I use that as a catalyst too to point out, like, a lot of times you see people walking around with stones and gems and stuff like that, and people are like, that stuff doesn't work. Mm-hmm. But when you have bad stones around you, you get sick and you mess around and die. So like if there are good positive minerals and metals and stuff that you could be around, man, surround yourself around that stuff. Yeah. There's a reason why kings back in the day wore all that gold.
Yeah.
You don't have to limit yourself to gold. There's other things you can bring with yourself. On a normal day, I could tell you 1,000 stones. I can't think of any today. But let's get that lead out the water and let's get those people in jail that drop that ball.
Yeah.
Please.
Rick Snyder, you a criminal.
No doubt.